Hey everybody, it's Allison here. I've got a bunch of requests from my friends for garden tours, so I thought I'd give you one. It is July 2020, so the garden is in full swing this year. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm in zone 6, and we're in a mountain valley, and we had a really nice spring. Sorry about the noise, it's my neighbor mowing. It was long, wet spring. Garden loved it. Everything's doing really good, except the bugs are like out of control. So I'll show you what I do about that a little bit anyway. But yeah, let's get you turned around and I will start this tour. All right, here we go. I'm gonna just start at one end and work my way down to the other. So we have raised beds. Buys me a lot of extra time in the garden. This bed was full of potatoes, red and yellow. And there's my chicken. I already harvested here. I want to say I got about maybe 20 pounds of potatoes out of this bed. These poor potatoes suffered really bad from bugs, and they ended up just dying, so I pulled them up a little bit early. So chickens are having a great time. Then over here is one of my newer beds. Boys put this in for me. I've got a baby chicken pretending to crow. That's not good. All right, anyways, this is my pepper bed. Got all kinds of peppers. Here is King of the North red peppers. There's a bunch back there that are coming along really well. And I also have a lot of hot peppers in here, although they're not really doing that well, I would say. There's Anaheims. These are my jalapenos, and they don't look good at all. And then also over in here I have super hot ones. I got Carolina Reaper and ghost peppers, so hopefully we'll get peppers off of that. I do have blossoms on them. It's hard to get them. There's my girl. There's Summer. She's an awesome egg layer. She's well Summer. And then here are my Thai hot. Love these guys. Bring them in, dry them. We eat them all year. So let's talk about this chicken for a second. I don't usually let the chickens out in the yard because they just destroy, as you can see underneath her feet, they destroy the garden. However, I had so much pest damage. The garden was just overrun with bugs that in desperation, we let the chickens out and they took care of it. Hi, Quinn. What's up? Say, I've been hiding my eggs from Mom since she let me out. Alright, chicken, star of the show. Alright, so let's go on. This is my tomato bed. I didn't plant nearly as many tomatoes as I did normally. They're pretty sunflowers. Look at all these cherry tomatoes. They're coming along pretty good. They'll be alright. I got some sweet million and some sun gold. Love these guys. I don't know if you can see, there's a few red ones in there. But I'll be getting tons of those pretty soon. It's kind of exciting. But other than that, I wouldn't say my tomatoes are actually doing all that good. I made a mistake. So here is my great big trellis, which is great for heirlooms. But all along the back are my tomatoes. I've got Atomic Grape, Paul Robeson, 100% favorite, and then Pineapple, second favorite. And I thought, oh, there's all this empty space in front of it. I'll plant the tomatillos here. You know, tomatillos are usually, oh, what, 24 inches, 30 inches? Well, these guys are like 4.5 feet and they're shading my tomatoes. Such a bummer. These girls, it's their favorite spot in here because it's shady. But little did they know this is probably the last day they'll be out. But, I mean, it's getting better. There's the Paul Robesons, they're coming along. And then, of course, Atomic Grape always do well. Like, honestly, anywhere I put them. So these guys, I really like Atomic Grape for sun-dried tomatoes. So if you don't love the flavor, because they are a little bit tart, try them as sun-dried tomatoes. They're perfect size, so good. And then here's my second potato bed, and see the pest damage here, and then they're just all bent over because we had thunderstorms. They were ready to harvest anyway, but I don't have a lot of energy, and I'm gonna wait for the bed to dry out and a friend to come over to help me out. So hopefully I'll get another 20 pounds out of there. This was my greens bed. I had some Japanese greens, I had lettuce, I had snow peas. So that's all done. It's been pulled out, and I will replant that here shortly. Now here is another tomato bed, my only other one, and these are my paste tomatoes. These are the guys that I can. So this is Amish paste, super big. Look at these guys. I don't know if you can see this or not. So big, look great. And then this is just the Viva Italia Roma tomatoes. And there's a billion on here, as always. They always do really well. They make a lot of tomatoes. It's just that they're not good to me for fresh eating. They're okay, but they freeze so well, and I'll show you guys what I do later because I don't have the energy to can anymore. So I just freeze them. It's awesome. So look at my beautiful hollyhocks. And then got some flowers for the pollinators. I can never remember what this stuff is called, I'm sorry. It's my oregano right here. And then sage bush and more flowers. So this is a melon bed. So I have Tigger melons, delicious. I'll show you one in a sec. There's cantaloupe. I believe this giant one, this is all cantaloupe. And I don't have any little melons yet. I have a million flowers, which is kind of making me nervous because it's pretty far into the season. But you know, they don't actually do that well around here, so if I get anything, I'll be happy. It's totally fine. Here's some beautiful watermelon. And then this is a, I want to say it's a Table King. It's a winter squash. Super prolific. There is like 8 or 9 squashes on here. Tons and tons of flowers. And overall, it's not that big of a bush. It's only this big. So for a winter squash, that's awesome. You could have one winter squash take up the whole bed, or it could have 4 different kinds of melons, a winter squash, 2 peppers, and an eggplant. So I choose everything else. Here's the eggplant. I'm allergic to it, but I share everything, so sharing that with friends. It just rained yesterday and today, and so a lot of my stuff is laying over. It's not good. But yeah, look at all those gorgeous hardneck squash. Let me see if I can find it again. Look at what I found earlier. It's a tiny watermelon. First watermelon I've ever grown here. So it's a nice hot year. I figured of any year, this was the year. So also, let me show you the Tigger melon from Baker Creek. Look how cute that is. Now it won't get any bigger than this. Sorry about that. They smell really good. They're just single serve melons. Every other time I've grown them, I had like 15 on the plant at once. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a little too crowded in here. I'm not sure. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Pretty flowers. All right, so over here is my, oh wait, sorry. More pretty flowers. Look at that. It's so pretty. Here is my zucchini bed. Let's see if I can back up and show you guys. Monster zucchini bed. Way too many. I did not know COVID was coming and we were not going to be able to share with all our friends all the time. So, way too many, but that's okay. It's a lot of free food. So I have 2 types of regular green zucchini. There's a crookneck in here, and then here's another winter squash, just acorn. So that one's doing really well. It's exciting. I love being able to have the food stored. Oh, let me show you one other thing I forgot to tell you about. So underneath my paste tomato bed, so there's a trellis here. Best thing I've ever done. Big heavy fencing. Just come out here and keep tying it up. And I planted 1 row of the paste tomatoes. But on the sides, on both sides, we planted onions. And I harvested a ton. Oh my gosh, like three or 4 big strings of onions. I mean, there's got to be like 80 onions. It's just the best. So I pulled those up, they're done. And then immediately came through and planted yellow wax beans. They're bush beans. So hopefully I get a second crop here. I'm gonna try really hard this year to do a fall crop. So I have sprouting broccoli inside. I'm gonna plant lettuce again. In the potato beds, I'll probably plant beets and turnips. So that'll be amazing. Okay, moving on, let's show you something that's not working very good. Once again, I love my heavy duty trellis. I have arthritis, so it's hard for me to bend over to pick. And this has forced my green beans straight up. Well, and my tomatoes and my melon, everything. It's been so awesome. However, this particular bed, these are Malibu green beans, it's not really doing well. It got a lot of pest pressure in the beginning. See, look at my leaves. And they're just sparse. I only got like a handful of beans today, which really I should be getting a basket full out of a bed this size. That's a lot of garden real estate for a handful of beans. So I'm actually thinking about tearing it out. I'll let you know what I decide. This is my celery. I planted this in the spring. I don't know if you guys grow celery, but it's not going to be the same as at the store. Look how thin these are. It's not like you're going to be eating it with peanut butter or something. However, it has tons of flavor. So I just snap off a bit like this and we add it to soup. And right now I'm freezing like onion, carrot, celery, and then I can just make soup all winter. I have everything chopped up and ready to roll. So let's go over here. Got some flowers, bring in the pollinators. This guy was my broccoli bed. Did fantastic this year. Look at that, I still have a little bit of broccoli. It's kind of crazy. It's middle of July. To me, it has that bitter taste when it starts bolting. And interestingly enough, it did not bolt. I can't remember what variety I had planted, but it was a new one. But it didn't stop it from getting that chemical flavor, that bitterness, which I don't like. My husband couldn't care less. He can't taste it, and so he's still eating broccoli every day. I got tons of it in there. So there's my pretty blue trellis. This is my cucumber bed. I'm not completely sold on the shape of this trellis for the cucumber bed. The idea was they would hang down and I'd be able to pick them. It's only kind of working. So I got sweet slice in here. There's an Armenian. Here, let me show you. See this baby? Another day or two, I'll pick that. These are just happy as can be where they're at. There's another Armenian in here somewhere. There was some volunteer potatoes that came up back here, and I already harvested a few, and then there's a few more I could pull out. I love it, free food, didn't plant anything, just came up and made me some beautiful potatoes. In fact, probably the biggest potato I've ever got, so that was pretty cool. A little tractor seat, There is some beautiful zucchini coming along, and these guys are holding on to the flowers really well. They're so easy to pick. Look at all those hard squash. Awesome. So this is my favorite bed right now. This is my second green bean bed. I planted it a month after the first one, and it's doing fantastic. At first I thought I had crowded them too close together, but they're totally fine. This is healthy as can be. Look how awesome these look. Look at all those flowers. Just tons and tons and tons. This variety here is the rattlesnake beans, and they make these beautiful purple little flowers. I just love them. And talk about prolific. I mean, it is prolific. They make so many beans. The only problem I have, it's not really a problem. I had bought pole beans and they turned out to be bush. But anyway, I don't really care. They're fantastic. Look at these funny little guys. So these are, again, the Malibu pole. They're my favorite. They taste really good here in zone 6. And they're really easy to grow. And I picked earlier today before it rained, and oh my gosh, I got a huge basket full. A gallon and a half of beans, and then I'll be picking again in 2 days. So awesome. There's a fly. So that's the garden for this year for now. It's really doing well, and I'm gonna work really hard on keeping it doing well. So I will keep you guys updated. Here's the rest of the yard. There's my open chicken pen. We have 7 adult chickens and 4 babies. We had 5, one disappeared. It's not good. But anyways, here is my flower bed too. I try to plant tons and tons of flowers so that we can attract pollinators, and it works really well. These are all just perennials. I just put them in, keep them watered and weeded, maybe, not really, and they just come back year after year. So much beauty for so little work. Oh, look at these guys. I gotta show you this. This is sea holly. This is a weird looking plant, and it bends over. However, it attracts bees and hoverflies like nothing I've ever seen before. It's fantastic. So definitely, I just got these at Walmart.